Hello and welcome back to my humble show. Yes, my cat has come to say hello as well. How is everybody doing? I am very tired, so hopefully I won't spend too much time on this. I have another piece to share with you, a piece of my mind, so to say, to go along with what I said yesterday about the life and death of Charlie Kirk, and also about those not only who oppose him even in death, but those who dance upon his grave. I have written another essay, if you will, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to share it with you. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'd be happy to hear from you, even if you disagree with me, though this isn't really the time. I think we should all be able to agree on what I'm about to say, but before I get into that, the killer has been caught, obviously. His father played a part in that, turning him in. 22-year-old, I believe. A wannabe Antifa kid. Call him a kid because he's younger than me. So was Charlie Kirk, but not by much. Yeah. So, something else happened today. Erika Kirk came out and addressed the nation for the first time since her husband's assassination. Very powerful. She said everything will be continued. All of his work will become her work, and the work of everyone who is working with him already. It's going to be bigger and better. I mean, it's not going to be the same, let's face it, but if you wanted a revolution and you're on the left, well, you're not going to get the kind of revolution you were hoping for. You're just not. Because it seems like vigils in the streets, or at least the people who hold vigils in the streets for such a multi-generational inspiration, are ultimately more powerful than people who riot in streets temporarily, which is what happened a few years ago. The darkness will always be outlived by the light. So let your little light shine. Alright. If those 3.2K are people who agree with you, you're in bad company. And you also are bad company. I took a screenshot here from Erika Kirk's address, which was on Charlie Kirk's YouTube channel, and I just circled the dislike count there. So her husband was assassinated, and that many people, which is not nearly as many as that many people, but still an alarming number of people just on one video. A video which was being played on many channels. Yeah, received a lot of dislikes. So people were unhappy with what she said, but happy that he is dead. I think that's a tragedy on top of the rest of the tragedy. But I have some more positive developments for you. Like I said, peaceful vigils. Here's an example of one in London. And again, the photo of Erika Kirk putting her hand on the chair, which her husband would have been sitting in otherwise. Sign in front says, "May Charlie be received into the merciful arms of Jesus, our loving Savior." And lastly, this tweet from Charlie Kirk from 2016, he said, "You can tell a lot about a person by how they react when someone dies." And so that's what this piece is going to be about. And my cat is already reading it. I tried to turn my camera over here a little bit more so you could see her face, but then she jammed it even further into the screen over here. She watches the screen I have here. Yeah. Nice decoration, but her head is cropped off there. Anyways, let me start at the top. Everything below is a post from my personal Facebook account. Yesterday, I read it directly off of my Facebook account. It's easier to read here, easier to see, bigger text. So, here it goes. Peaceful vigils. With songs of amazing grace held around the country and even around the world. London in this video. If I were to summarize this all in a cliche, I'd say, if you feel that this is the problem in America, then you're the problem. An awful lot of people seem to believe that Charlie Kirk's headstone should be engraved with whichever selectively interpreted quotes represent his life the most poorly. But I can promise you, even if that were true, and their own standard applies to they themselves at the time of their own death, their own headstone will be far more shameful. It's the epitome of opportunism when people won't give their own opinion a rest, even within someone else's death. You might as well walk right up to their loved ones and say, "Too bad you didn't lose a good one." But oh, it's just too easy to take shots from a distance. Shameful, but that's not even the worst of it. This isn't a shot at anyone. It's merely an observation about someone. If the shoe fits, wear it. Without wearing it out, we all need to learn to turn the page without tearing it out. Imagine having so much hatred in your heart that your words are more vile, vitriolic, and vengeful than the words of the very widow whose husband was just murdered in cold blood for having a different opinion than you. Imagine whining about your own existence, being threatened by thought itself, as you celebrate literal assassination. I'm afraid you have eaten the forbidden fruit and become rotten to the core. I'm afraid you have become the real oppressor. All that and more. Of course, your narcissistically convenient conclusion may very well be that only someone more powerful possesses the possibility of being an oppressor. Unfortunately for you, being a morally bankrupt, ideologically incompetent idiot is universally applicable. Respectfully. I say that to say this. If you believe that what I've said here is somehow more detrimental to society than murder itself, you haven't a single lame leg to stand on in discussions of human race. In fact, I fear that you've wandered so far beyond the point of return and reason that my statement isn't even meant for you. Instead, it's meant for those who are merely vulnerable to the gullibility of being engulfed by your empty sense of entitlement. Nevertheless, let's play this out. Say you believe that correlation equals causation, that alliance equals activation, that opinion equals oppression, and ultimately that slaughtering whomever you subjectively deem an oppressor is therefore justified. Well, considering how most of America, including me, agrees with Charlie Kirk on most things, it's safe to say that, according to your own apparent logic, half of America is complicit with oppression and therefore deserves to die. My friend, you yourself have the mentality of a genocidal sociopath. Although you're more of a coward than the coward himself, fortunately so for the safety of society, your worldview is quite literally that half of America should be killed for your sense of safety. Wait, you want to tell me that your words don't equate to such violent actions? Isn't that your entire shtick, though? I guess it's always the other guy. Woe is you. While others hold vigils, you celebrate violence. With all of that being said, I'd still never wish you dead, or even anything close to it. Yet you'd apparently dance on my grave. I mean, you'd have to in order to be consistent. Otherwise, you're just being fake when you're civil. That's the problem with valuing realness over righteousness. We end up embracing neither. We just keep barking about a dog-eat-dog world as more people get bit. Oh, but it's just social media, and people just need to vent. Sure, but if that's your sort of thing, then instead of sharing simple-minded memes with second-hand references to out-of-context takes on quotes which Charlie Kirk may or may not have ever even uttered, why don't you take a hot second to review your own history of decrepitly dark statements, online or off? If you debated in the public forum as much as he did, I guarantee you'd leave behind a laundry list of lunacy compared to him. In an upside-down world where too many people are taught to think backwards, not only is the beauty in the eye of the beholder, so is the evil. It's astounding to me how anyone believes they can spread love by spewing hate. But I guess that love isn't truly their objective after all. It's merely their excuse to hate. They despise the light because they themselves live in darkness. They demand you to lie because they can't handle the truth. Before I move on from this, I can share one more bit of information with you. Something that I also saw going around on Facebook, namely, which, by the way, is what I was responding to with that post in large part. I was responding to people, indirectly, people I know. People I know on Facebook. Like I said, it's from my personal Facebook account, but thought it was worth sharing elsewhere. The claim was going around that Charlie Kirk had called for the stoning of gay people. People like Stephen King claimed as much. Shared that message with his millions of followers. But of course, it's false. Like so many narratives floating around out there, he was roasted, raked over the coals for it, as he should have been. And at a certain point, I guess he got tired of hearing about it, and he decided to apologize. So he started reposting people who were criticizing him, like Colin Wright, who said, "No, he didn't, and it's exactly this kind of extreme rhetoric that encourages people to commit violence." Yeah, Stephen King reposted that and said, "I have apologized. Charlie Kirk never advocated stoning gays to death." Okay. And some of his other posts where he said something similar. He mostly just came across as bothered by everyone who was correcting him. But at least he did apologize, even though it was barely an apology. So I just said, if Stephen King can find it within himself, barely, to apologize for spreading a lie to millions, so can you. By the way, this is what happens when people look only to sources they agree with for scoops on those with whom they disagree. It's also what happens when we check everyone's hands for stones except our own. As a side note, I wonder how many horror movie connoisseurs can't stomach listening to someone, yes, Charlie Kirk, who held the views of half the country. Then again, brain rot is just so much more appealing than a thought exercise. What a world. As Christ said, and also as Kirk said, go and sin no more. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Keep in touch, keep in tune. New content is coming soon. I'm having a hard time getting around to even recording. It's currently after 3 a.m. I just got done watching the newborn a short time ago. She's in the other room, hopefully sleeping, not waking her mother up. I'm going to go to bed shortly, but that's what I have for now. Peace.